America was built on the promise of self-government, a nation where every citizen had a voice. But today, money speaks louder than people. To understand how we arrived here, we need to look back through the history of campaign finance, the court cases that reshaped our democracy, and the enormous cost of letting wealth dictate power. Part 1. The early struggle with money. In the late 1800s, the Gilded Age, tycoons of railroads, oil, and steel held enormous sway over politics. They didn't just influence elections, they bought them. Mark Hanna, political boss of the era, once said, "There are two things important in politics. The first is money, and I can't remember what the second one is." The first campaign finance law, the Tillman Act of 1907, banned corporate donations. But it had no real enforcement. Progressives like Theodore Roosevelt warned of malefactors of great wealth and pushed for disclosure. Still, money remained the lifeblood of politics. Part 2. Watergate and Reform. By the 1970s, the corruption reached a breaking point. Nixon's re-election campaign was fueled by secret corporate cash, and the Watergate scandal exposed it. In response, Congress passed the Federal Election Campaign Act, contribution limits, disclosure rules, and the creation of the Federal Election Commission promised a new era of accountability. For a brief time, it seemed democracy might belong to citizens again. Part 3. The courts rewrite the rules. In Buckley v. Vallejo in 1976, the court declared that money equals speech. Candidates could spend unlimited amounts of their own wealth on elections. In the 1980s and 90s, soft money poured through loopholes, unlimited donations to political parties. Reform came again with the McCain-Feingold Act in 2002, an effort to close the loopholes. But in 2010, Citizens United VFEC blew the system wide open. Corporations and unions were given the right to spend unlimited money on elections under the banner of free speech. That same year, SpeechNow.org VFEC created super PACs, outside groups able to raise and spend unlimited sums. From that point forward, billionaires and corporate interests gained unmatched power in American politics. Part 4. The explosion of money. The numbers tell the story. In 2000, federal elections cost about $1.8 billion. In 2020, the price tag was over $14 billion, the most expensive election in history. The top 1% of donors now give more than the millions of small donors combined. Dark money, anonymous funds routed through nonprofits, adds billions more with no accountability. And the lobbying industry spends over $4 billion every year in Washington. That's more than the entire budget of many federal agencies. This money buys results. It buys tax cuts for billionaires. It buys deregulation for Wall Street. It buys protection for the pharmaceutical industry while Americans pay the highest drug prices in the world. A Princeton study concluded bluntly, the United States is no longer a democracy in practice, but an oligarchy. A system where the wealthy few dominate the many. Part 5. The human cost. The damage isn't abstract. It falls on ordinary people. The middle class shrinks while billionaires add trillions to their fortunes. Workers' wages stagnate while corporations pocket record profits. Families struggle with healthcare, housing, and education, while lobbyists write the laws that shape their lives. Public trust has collapsed. In the 1960s, 3 out of 4 Americans trusted government to do the right thing. Today, that number is closer to 1 in 5. When people lose faith that their voices matter, democracy itself begins to wither. Part 6. Pushback and Hope. But history also teaches us that reform is possible. Small donor revolutions are rising. Campaigns like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren proved that millions of people giving $20 can compete with billionaires. States and cities are experimenting with change. Maine and Arizona pioneer public financing. New York City matches small donations 8-1, amplifying ordinary voices. Movements like End Citizens United represent us. And Wolfpack fight for transparency and reform. And investigative journalists, from Open Secrets to ProPublica, continue to shine light on dark money networks. Money in politics isn't just one issue among many. It's the issue that determines them all. If big donors write the rules, then citizens lose their power. But democracy isn't dead. It's waiting for the people to reclaim it. The question is simple. Do we still believe in government of, by, and for the people? Or will we surrender it to the highest bidder? The answer is up to us. Thanks for watching Hot LZ. If you value open discussion and real American voices, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. And join the conversation at hotlz.com.